Mr. President, sir, people are becoming a bit confused by the way you and your opponent are, well, constantly holding hands.
We are merely exchanging long protein strings. If you can think of a simpler way, I'd like to hear it.
If you're like me, you have Pedro Pascal fatigue. My fatigue started when he forced the writers of The Mandalorian to allow him to take his mask off because he wanted the whole world to know that it was Pedro Pascal playing The Mandalorian, even though the lore of The Mandalorian is to never take your mask off. But after that, I was over Pedro Pascal, plus him attacking Gina Carano and his general obsession with LGBT woke stuff. You know, I didn't really care. I do think he was funny in that movie with Nick Cage, like The Unfathomable Weight of Immense Talent or whatever it's called. That was funny. But then he got the role in HBO's The Last of Us, which I was willing to watch. But of course, by the third episode, HBO did what HBO does and put a dude in it and made him lame and gay. And then now he's in Fantastic Four and some other movie. But what I didn't notice is apparently he has this really creepy habit of basically, you know, it looks to me like he's molesting these women that he is working with. And he says it's because he has anxiety. Well, some new footage has come up, and it does not exactly seem like everyone's okay with this. And we're going to get into that after a super quick word from this video's sponsor. You know, I talk about things being covered up all the time. So you know what else has been covered up? The insane health benefits of cocoa flavanols. The compounds found in cocoa that boost nitric acid, improve heart health, and regenerate brain cells. Before you roll your eyes like you just flipped through a heavily redacted Epstein files, this isn't some nonsense. Let me show you Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check this out.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like high flavanol cocoa in order to be able to actually get the stem cells to work a little bit better.
Flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. That's where Black Forest supplements come in. They've created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs, and it's only 20 calories. You can mix it with coffee or protein shake. It tastes amazing. This stuff can boost your body's natural stem cell production. Hollywood elites drop $50K on placenta cell injections, but you can drink some cocoa powder and get some of the same benefits without selling your soul for it. Let's be real. As men, we need to be strong, mentally sharp, and in peak condition. No one's going to take care of us but us. Here's what I've worked out for you. I've asked my friends at Black Forest to give you guys a special discount. They're doing a 40% off discount for the next 40 hours, including the cocoa, that I so highly recommend you guys go ahead and get it ASAP. This offer can only last 48 hours, and they're usually out of stock on this. Take advantage of it while you can. Check the link in the description and pinned comment. Stock up while it's still in stock. Yeah, I see people in chat saying I've been taking it. MDFL says I've been taking that cocoa supplement for 6 weeks. It actually does help. Yeah, they sent me some too. So yeah, it's very cool. Here, everyone's talking about Pedro Pascal's hot girl anxiety, but is there any real science behind it? Well, first let's start here. Pedro Pascal goes viral for creepy touching of William Dafoe's wife, with A-lister left fuming. Yikes. Pedro Pascal's overtly tactile displays have once again ruffled feathers online after a clip of the star touching William Dafoe's wife resurfaced. Pascal, who is 50, who has gone viral for holding hands with his glamorous co-stars during anxiety attacks. This isn't during anxiety attacks. I think it's like, he just does it because apparently, I don't know. Apparently it's good for him. He just does it all the time. In a moment dubbed creepy by fans, a grinning Pascal smiled at Dafoe before affectionately grabbing his wife's face and stroking her chin. Dafoe quickly pointed at Pascal before his smile dropped in a wild clip, with one viewer commenting, "Touch my wife like that and we're throwing hands. WTF is going on with this creep?" Others wrote, "Bro wasn't smiling at the end of that. Yikes. You know something weird about Pedro Pascal, but you just can't prove it." And look how he got checked. At first, I didn't see the problem. Then I rewatched the video, and you clearly see William Dafoe is pissed off about it. Others leapt to his defense, saying, "He has anxiety." What? I mean, well, let's look at that clip first and see, here's that clip. A video of Pedro Pascal touching William Dafoe's wife is resurfacing. William Dafoe is having none of that. So he's touching William Dafoe there. Yeah, oh yeah, he did. He was not having any of that. Look at the face. It's poor video, but if you look at his face here, he has a huge smile. Then he sees what he's doing, touching William Dafoe's wife, and watch his face. Boom. Stop touching her, he said. Smile went immediately away, and his wife immediately stopped smiling. As somebody who suffers with anxiety, people are always asking me, "Jeremy, why are you breathing like that? Why do you breathe like that?" It's when I'm having anxiety. My body makes me have like adrenaline, and it makes me feel like short of breath. As far as I know, grabbing some other woman's bobs does not help that. But you see here, he is not happy. Look at the face in the end here. Watch him furrow his brow. He is not happy right there. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you doing?" By the way, shout out to Cheatonium, who's an absolute Chad and must be an Amazon Prime user and just subscribed on Amazon Prime to twitch.tv/recording. It's an absolutely free way for you to support the channel and get shout outs. I really appreciate that. Then this video came out. Even if Pedro Pascal is gay, which I don't know if he is or isn't, nor do I care. If my wife were doing this to another man, I'd leave her to the streets where I found her. He convinces these women that he needs to have, look at this.
These are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah. As long as you don't
Either her eyebrows, big yikes. Her eyebrows are gross. So nobody's helping this woman. If you dye your hair, first of all, like she's got highlights in her hair, she should probably lighten those weird eyebrows. And why does they make her look like Snuffleupagus?
Very first day
as long as you don't have to see my face. Terrible confession.
Look at this.
In front of Gordon.
It's because some of the best men in the world, so they don't count.
These are gorgeous.
What is going
that's my
on?
favorite image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah.
No, that Cyril's girl writes, "At this point, I feel like they saw how much attention him touching her was getting, and the studio told him to turn it up." I mean, I don't know. It's very, very weird. And here's the thing. Headlining TV and biggest projects like The Last of Us, The Materialists, and the 50-year-old actor, now ahead of his Marvel debut as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, Pascal has gone viral again for having what his fans dubbed as hot girl anxiety. In a 2023 interview, Pascal told The Last of Us co-star Bella Ramsey that he places a hand on his chest or reaches out someone out close to him to help manage his anxiety during high-stress moments like red carpets and press tours. But social media users recently branded his so-called coping mechanism, PDA with female co-stars like Vanessa Kirby, as creepy. However, psychologists speaking with the Daily Mail said physical touch with oneself or another person is one of the most powerful and natural ways to cope with anxiety disorders, which affect nearly 1 in 5 adults. Now, as somebody who has anxiety and who has been in therapy for it for 10 years, has seen a doctor for over 10 years, I have never once been told to put my hands on anybody to help with anxiety. Never once. Maybe it helps some people, but I have never heard of that. Psychologists speaking with Daily Mail said that they explained a hug or holding a loved one's hands releases cuddle hormones that form social bonds that reduce the body's stress response. I've also never heard of cuddle hormones. Never. even putting a hand on your chest stops the release of stress hormones. Sometimes I do that. Like I rest, like you'll see me, you know, cough or like rub my chest. Talking about anxiety gives me anxiety. But like, I've never been told, hey, touch a woman's pregnant belly or hold her hands or have her stroke your face or whatever. Maybe it releases oxytocin for him, but you know, Twitter is getting, you know, really mad about this. Like, oh, this is a bot network. You know, me wondering why Pedro Pascal never has, quote, anxiety around his male co-stars. Oh, shout out Dokes. By the way, the latest season of Dexter, I've only watched the first 4 episodes. It's actually pretty good. I thought they were going to do this woke, like, anti-immigrant angle, but they didn't. So far, it's just been classic Dexter. But yeah, I don't really see him doing this with men, you know? So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know about all that. And I don't think other men want him touching people's wife, or, you know, want them touching their wives. Pedro Pascal's anxiety touching with Vanessa Kirby sparks a meme storm. Fans ask, why doesn't he touch me like that? I mean, I don't know. It's very weird. I mean, I don't know. He's touching her hand. He doesn't look like, this doesn't look that bad. He's just posing for a photo. That doesn't look that bad. Me alone with anxiety. Pedro Pascal with anxiety. Me wondering why Pedro Pascal never has anxiety around his male coworkers. Exactly. 133,000 likes. How come Pedro Pascal never gets anxiety around Bella Ramsey? Pedro Pascal and his female coworker because of social anxiety. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're using anxiety to cover up for, like, you know, some weird stuff. But yeah, I'm not running to see Fantastic Four, but if you do, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.